Hey everybody, I'm Helen. Today's class is a flow to focus on your outer strength, but your inner softness. You might need a block or so, but other than that, you yourself and a mat, and I will see you there. Hey everybody, welcome to class. We'll start today in a comfortable seat. I'm in accomplished pose, Savasana. Choose whatever feels good for you. We will also start with a mudra. This is a hand seal. Taking the right palm on top of the left hand, placing the thumbs together, and just allowing this mudra to fall gently in your lap. Spine is tall, crown to the sky, and when you're ready, close the windows of the eyes. Center in, center on the breath, maybe take a deep inhale, and an exhale through the mouth. So this mudra represents inner stillness and inner strength. It's known as dhyana mudra. And with the thumbs connected, you have an unbroken chain of fire energy. The thumb represents the fire element. And with the palms turned up to the sky, you're inviting inspiration into your life. And this is a wonderful mudra to do whenever you're feeling a bit chaotic or stressed in your life. It helps you tune in to your inner stillness. And the other day, I was eating a watermelon. I love watermelon. I don't know about you. It got me thinking how the outside is a tough shell and inside it's soft and sweet. And in a way, it can represent us. Quite often we have a hard exterior, this part of us that we show to the world, but inside we're a little bit soft and sweet. You know, when you bite into a watermelon, it's so refreshing and juicy, like a taste of summer nostalgia. So in class today, we will work through that outer strength, but also an inner softness as well. And here's a quote that I kind of like. Be strong enough to stand alone. Be smart enough to know when you need help. And be brave enough to ask for it. Be strong enough to stand alone. Be smart enough to know when you need help. And be brave enough to ask for it. A few more breaths here. Enjoying the peace in your body, peace in your mind, peace in your heart. And then when you're ready, gently open the eyes. Wonderful. If you're in any blocks, push them to one side. We'll begin in hands and knees for a few rounds of cat-cow. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. On an inhale, the chest lifts and the belly dips. And as you exhale, round in the lower back, protracting the shoulder blades, stomaching the upper back, and curling in on yourself. Again, inhale, lift the chest and expand. And then as you exhale, round in the back and contract inwards. One more of these. Inhale, lift. Full expansion of the chest, open in the shoulders, and an exhale, rounding, tucking the tailbone, contracting inwards. Then return to a neutral spine. Round into the left hand, and on an inhale, the right arm lifts up to the sky. As you exhale, rotate under for the needle, bringing the right ear and the right shoulder down to the earth. Maybe you can tent the left fingers, you can even extend the hand in front, whatever feels good. Imagine that you're peeling your armpit, your left armpit open to the sky. Then plant the left hand. Inhale, the right arm up to the sky. Extend the right leg back, we'll rotate open into this modified side plank. Stacking the shoulders, engaging the side waist, grounding down into that right foot. And then we will come up to gate pose. On an inhale, engaging the core. We come up to this T shape, right hand on the outside of the right thigh, and lean over. Reaching out the waist. Feels so good. Stretching the spine. Inhale back to gate. And rotate back down. Other side. This time, left arm lifts up to the sky. Rotate under. Threading the needle. Maybe opening that right armpit to the sky as much as you can. And plant the right hand. We come out. The left leg extends back and we rotate open to modified side plank on the other side. Stacking the shoulders. Getting ready to move into gate post. And up we come. Left hand on the outside of the left leg. Right arm leans over. Feels so good. And come back down, cartwheel the hands down. Return back to tabletop. Move the hands, one handprint in front. Tuck the toes, and the hips come up for downward facing dog. Hands around shoulder width. Maybe pedal out the knees. Gently open in the backs of the legs. Space around the neck. And settle in dog. Taking a breath or so. Lengthen in the spine, tailbone to the sky. Look forward at the hands. Right leg lifts up. We'll step forward into a lunge, bringing the back knee down. On an inhale, the torso comes up. Arms to the sky. You can release the back foot flat to the floor. Breathing here. Descending into the hips, pulling right hip back, lift it forward. Feeling the expansiveness of the chest. And bring the arms behind and interlace the fingers, right thumb on top. You can keep space between the wrists or the palms come together, opening that chest, and maybe lift and look up to the sky. You can release the index fingers and trace them down the back thigh. A little bit of support. Expanding the throat and the heart. Then release the arms, bring them back up to the sky, and we'll open into a cactus. So we're opening the chest even more. Bring the shoulder blades gently touching each other. And return the hands to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Side B, look forward at the hands. Left leg lifts to the sky, reaching out of the hip. And step forward into a low lunge. Back knee descends. Release the foot. We come up to low lunge, descending into the hips. Pulling this left hip back, right hip forward. Front ribs are in. Even breathing. Feeling that gentle openness of the body as we commence class. Not worrying about how deep we get. And bring the arms behind. This time the left thumb comes on top of the right. Opening the chest. Maybe releasing the index fingers, tracing them down the right thigh. Opening the chest to the sky. Inhale the arms back up, and then we open into cactus, pulling those shoulder blades together. Expand in the heart, that soft pavas, allowing the movement to gently chip away at the armor that we sometimes have on the outside caused by stress and tension. And then gently plant the hands, and we step back, downward facing dog. Taking a free breath here. We'll begin to flow. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step up, warrior one. Bending into this front knee, pulling that right hip back. Fingertips can touch or the arms be apart. Whatever feels good in your body. This strong, stable base here with the feet in contact with the earth firmly. Back edge of the back foot. Inseam of the back leg. Active and engaged. Bring the arms behind, right thumb on top of left. Again, chest expansion, opening to the sky, and then gently falling into humble warrior. Allowing the upper body to descend, keeping that right hip tucked under, so it's not splaying out to the side. The transition from here is to high lunge. Release the hands. With grace, we sweep up gently, come into a high lunge, rotating on the back foot. Space around the neck. Front ribs are in. Back leg straight and strong. High lunge. Then palms come to the chest. Lifting this left elbow, we slice across and it comes outside the right thigh for prayer twist. Lengthening the spine long, reaching out the crown of the head, twisting from the mid-waist. Breathing deep, shoulders are away from the ears, back leg straight and strong. Even breaths. Rotate the body back to the midline. We come up to high lunge. The transition is into tree pose. The left leg will be your tree leg. Engage in the core. And we come up. Foot to thigh. Palms can begin at the chest or release them up to the sky. Fixed gazing point. Can you find that balance between strength and softness in this pose? Palms return to the chest, and we step back into a high lunge, plank, vinyasa. All meeting in dog. Taking a free breath. And side B. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, warrior one. Getting the alignment, back leg straight and strong. The strength of these warrior poses. Ever you need a little self-esteem boost, just throw out a couple of warriors. Then arms come behind, left thumb on top of right thumb, chest expansion. And as you exhale, humble warrior. Releasing the body down, keeping that left hip tucked under. Shoulder blades kissing each other. How are your toes? Are you gripping the mat? Are they white with no blood in them where you're gripping so much? Can you find a little bit of ease in your toes? From here, gentle transition into a high lunge, sweeping up. Palms to chest. We're lifting the right elbow and slicing across. High lunge twist, prayer twist. Long spine, engage core, relax shoulders, crown reaching out the front of the mat. Scissoring the thighs for balance. Rotate back to the midline. High lunge to tree pose, grounding into the left heel. When we come up, tree. The sole of the right foot pressing into that left leg and vice versa, that union of opposites. Arms up to the sky if that feels good. Even breaths, fixed gazing point. If you fall over, that's okay. Trees fall all the time. The key is to be flexible. If you're very strong and brittle, you'll fall over. If you bend like bamboo, and you bend with the wind, then you actually got more stability. Bring the palms to the chest. Step back. Take a vinyasa. Breathing here. And we will add on. Right leg lifts. Warrior one. Hands interlace behind. On an inhale, chest to the sky. And exhale, humble warrior. Release the arms. High lunge. Palms to chest. Prayer twist. Back to the midline. Tree pose. I'm a bit wobbly today. And the transition from tree is into warrior two. So see if you can move like a ninja. You can bring the hands together and then release this back leg and push out into your warrior two. Heel to arch alignment. Shoulders stacked over hips. Front knee in a right angle as much as you can. Drishti, middle finger. Feeling the strength in the lower body, but the ease and lightness of the upper body. Side angle. Bring the right hand inside the left. Inside the right foot even. You can use a block if that feels okay. Top arm sweeps down, up and around. Side angle. Rotating the body open to the side. The higher the torso is, the more rotation you will get. Then arm up to the sky. Open the chest. Pulling this left arm back. And inhale, back to warrior two. Cobble the hands down. Step back to plank. Side plank on the right side, rotating onto the outside of the right foot. Shoulders stacked above wrist. We open to the side. You can have the feet stacked or staggered, or do that modified version that we did at the start of class. Breathing here. This is sometimes known as strong arm pose. So feeling that strength, but the ease of the breath. Top hand comes down. Right leg lifts to the sky. Right knee comes into chest. We rotate again onto this right hand for fallen triangle. If you like, you can lift this bottom leg for a little bit of extra core work. Do you want to ramp it up a little bit? Then hand comes down. Step back to plank. Maybe do a one-legged chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Reconnect. Breathe. Side B. Left leg lifts to the sky. Warrior one. Arms come behind, interlace the fingers, left thumb on top, perhaps the funky way. Inhale, open the chest to the sky. And as you exhale, descend into humble warrior, releasing, keeping that left hip tucked under. And then with good grace, transition into high lunge. Palms come to the chest, prayer twist. Maybe it feels better this time around. As you build familiarity in the body, and the muscle memory, return to the midline, tree pose. Getting ready to transition into warrior two through a ninja transition, bringing the palms to the chest, and then we release out. Heel to arch alignment. Strong lower body. Light upper body. Easy mind, easy breath. Side angle pose, bringing the left hand inside the left leg, sweeping the top arm down, up and around, and open into the side, a long line of energy from the back foot to the tips of the fingers. Chest opening to the side. When we come back up briefly to warrior two, hands plant, plank, side plank on the left, rotating onto the left foot, stacking the shoulders, gauging the side waist. Spine is long, core is engaged. Mind is focused, breath is steady. And hand comes down, left leg to sky, knee to chest. And then fallen triangle on the other side. Can have the leg down or up. Open in the chest. Strong foundation, open heart. Release back to plank. Maybe a one-legged chaturanga. And back to downward facing dog. Reconnect. Recalibrate. We have one more piece to add on. And we'll begin. Right leg lifts, inhale. Warrior one. Arms come behind, chest expansion. Humble warrior. High lunge. Prayer twist. Return to the middle, tree pose. Warrior two. Side angle. Warrior two. Plank. Right side, side plank. Plank. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Right knee to chest. Fallen triangle. Left hand down. Downward facing dog. This time left leg lifts. Open the hip, knee to the sky. And we're dropping back into wild thing. Left toes come on the outside of the mat. Seat to the floor and then push up into wild thing, into your back bend. Sit back down. We push up again. One more time. Sit back into the hips. And then we push up. Rotate back around. And take a vinyasa. We meet in dog. Last side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Warrior one. Chest expansion. Humble warrior. High lunge. Prayer twist. Tree pose. Ninja warrior two. I know I look nothing like a ninja. In my mind, I am one. Side angle. Warrior two. Plank. Side plank to the left. Right. Downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. Left knee to chest. Fallen triangle. Downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky. Opening the hip. And the right foot comes behind. We dip down and up for wild thing. Full expansion. Opening the whole of that front body. Feels so good. We sit back to the hips. We push up again. One more time. Down to the hips. Push up. Back to downward facing dog. Vinyasa. Open the heart, wipe the slate clean. Downward facing dog. The knees to the floor. Sit back on the heels. And we'll come back into dhyana mudra again. The right hand is on top of the left, both palms to the sky, thumbs touching, connecting that fire energy. And noticing how you're feeling in the body. Can you feel all that prana moving around? Maybe you've got a few beads of sweat. I know I have. What's going on in the mind? Are you beating yourself up about whether or not you did all the postures? Or are you feeling contentment that you tried? And whatever the outcome was the outcome that was right for you. And from here, we'll make our way down onto the back. Actually, we won't. We're going to do a forward fold. Bringing the legs in front, tall out of the spine. And this is my favorite way to get into this pose. Bringing the arms up behind the head, interlacing the fingers, opening the chest. Just like we've been doing throughout class. And then gently fold the body in on itself, bringing the head down towards the chest. And then when you can't curl in anymore, on an inhale, you sweep out forward, back to a long spine. And then folding from the hip crease over the body, over the legs, and release. If it's available to you, press the thumbs into the base of the big toes and grab the outside of the feet and pull them back. Legs are active, spine is long, and surrender. Long breaths. On your next inhale, gently bring the body back up. And now we will go down to the earth. Coming down onto the back. Planting the left foot, the knees to the sky. Externally rotating this right hip. Hooking the right ankle above the left knee for a figure 4 shape. We'll do a somatic movement here, focusing on this outer hip and not using the hands. Treat this bent right leg like a wing and gently bring the wing into the midline, just using the hip strength, and then open back out to the side. So we'll do a couple of these. Might help to close the eyes. shutting out one of the senses and tuning into the sensation you feel in this hip joint, the biggest joint of the body, where we hold a lot of emotional stuff. We move in a nice mindful way. Our hips are nice and open after that flow. Maybe we can release something that is stuck there. We hold all this tension and stress in our body. Really, the only way to remove it is with a physical practice, because it is a bodily sensation. And yes, our thoughts control our emotions, so that's cognitive, but our emotions manifest in the body. So it makes sense to use a physical practice to move them and release them from the body. Bring your wing back out to this figure 4 shape. Arms will come to a cactus, and then allow this shape to fall over to the left side. The right foot will come flat to the earth. Right knee to the sky. Lift the head, turn it mid-air, look over the right shoulder for this variation of a spinal twist. You can really feel this deep in my right hip joint. Super juicy. Bring the head back to the middle, the shape back up. Release this right leg. Place both feet on the floor, maybe just windscreen wiper the knees from side to side before we go on to the other side. Settle in stillness. Right foot is planted, knee to the sky. Externally rotate this left hip. Hook the ankle above the right thigh. You have your left wing now in place, and then using just the strength of this hip joint, start to move the wing into the midline and then gently out. Nice, slow, mindful movement. Do you notice a difference between this side and the other? Does it feel more free after that dynamic movement? We can become so stagnated when we're sitting in the same shapes every day, not moving. That's why our yoga practice is such a wonderful gift that we can give to ourselves. We move in all these different planes of movement, juicing up our joints. It's a true mind, body, and heart practice. Then settle with your wing pointed to the outside and allow this whole lower body shape to fall over to the right. Left foot comes to the earth, knee to the sky. Lift the head, turn it mid-air, look over that left shoulder. Noticing where you're feeling it. Where is the sensation? You focus your mind and just breathe through it. On your next inhale, come back to the middle. Release the left foot, a couple of windscreen wipers. And we will finish with a final back bend, fish pose, Matsyendrasana. A couple of ways to do this. Place the feet flat to the earth, lift the hips up, then the palms come flat underneath the hips. So you rest your sacrum on the tops of your hands. Your elbows are planted into the earth. Legs are long, toes are pointed. So imagine you're like an arrow here. Then on an inhale, ground down into the elbows and you peel the chest up to the sky. Rest the head gently on the crown of the head. All the weight really is in the elbows and the lower body. Very minimal weight on the crown of the head. You can stay in this position, or if you're familiar with the more advanced version, you bring the hands together, palms touching in front of the body, and you lift the legs up. Breathe in deep. Whatever version you're in, gently come out the pose. We come into final relaxation, Savasana. Allow the fingers to curl gently towards the heart. Cool body relaxation. And I'll leave you with another quote. Be like a watermelon. Strong on the outside and soft and sweet on the inside. Savasana. Before you start to move, tune your ear into the furthest away sound you can hear. Maybe it is the sound of traffic outside, or a bird tweeting in a tree. And then tune your ear to the closest sound here. Maybe that is the sound of your own breath. Bring life into the fingers and toes again. A full body stretch. Roll over onto your favorite side. Pause for a moment. And then return upward to a comfortable seat with the eyes closed. Perhaps you bring the hands into dhyana mudra again, connecting the thumbs, tuning into your fire, but also your inner stillness. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I will see you again soon. Thank you.